Yes, sir. There we go. Welcome back to the Impact Podcast Show. It's your boy, Coach A, back in the building again. It's been a while. I hope everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful Friday evening. I was busy all day today in the office. It's been a while since I've been here. So we're going to chop it up a little bit. I did have a special guest that couldn't make it due to unforeseen circumstances. We're not gonna put all the information out there, but you know how it is sometimes. So yeah, let me go ahead and share this a little bit, and we're gonna get into the chat. Chat. Make sure you leave a message. If you see it, leave a message for sure. It's the Impact Podcast Show. We're gonna talk about taxes, talk about business and taxes, right? Keep you from holding your taxes up this year. That's what I got for you. Spur of the moment. Let me go ahead and get into the intro. Yo, yo, what's up? Welcome back to the Impact Podcast Show. It's your boy Coach A once again, getting started. So it's been a while since I've been on. You know, I had a lot going on. Obviously, taking care of God's favorite baby, Elijah, was born Thanksgiving Day. So, wow, he's 2 months. So it's hard to recover from that. Just trying to catch up on some sleep for sure. Anytime I forgot, anytime that a newborn is in the building, boy, nobody get no sleep. It's like Hurricane Elijah. He done disrupted the whole house. Nobody get no sleep. Sometimes we don't eat till late. So, but it's all good. He's a joy. He's always content, laughing. So I think that's awesome for sure. But getting into right now, it's a real busy time for me. Going into my 19th year, 18th, 19th year, doing taxes. That's right, business taxes, personal taxes. Ever since I moved to Florida, that was what I had to. That was my plan, was to open up a tax office. And so what I was doing, I remember, because at the time I was working at the detention center, and I remember drawing pictures and coming up with different names, trying to figure out what the name of my business, what my office was going to be called. Precision Tax, Aero Tax. And I remember going through in training in Tampa, going through all the other trainees that was there, showing them, you know, how does this look for a logo? How does this sound? And taking everybody's name down. They were like, "But when you with your business, your tax business, over, take my name down. I want you to do mine." So ain't none of them people came to my office. You know, of course, they all stayed in Tampa anyway. But yeah, here I am, making blessed 18th year, getting it done for sure. So I advanced to business taxes, um, nonprofits, of course, the LLCs, C corps, all of it, partnerships, estate taxes. I've done it all in the past 18 years. So proud of that. That's why I call myself the tax mogul. That's right. Coach A is the tax mogul. I didn't just about experience all of it when it comes to taxes for sure. So what I want to talk about this year is trying to help people from having their taxes held up. because a lot of, what happens is the government has a lot of stuff that's going on, between the last couple years with your stimulus checks, and a lot of people is receiving these advanced child tax credits. And so I want to make sure that you know what could potentially hold your taxes up. And so you really have to be informed. Otherwise, if you just go and file your taxes and you don't do it correctly, it could either A, get rejected, which is a good thing because then you can correct it quickly, or you can B, it'll get held up. And you don't want, and if you, it ain't nothing like a frustration when you expecting your money to hit in 3 weeks, and here you is 4 to 6 weeks later, and you still haven't gotten your deposit yet. So I had to deal with that for a long time. I mean, from a lot of people, just because they didn't give me the right information and stuff like that. Of course, not this year because we just started, but just during the previous years. So I want to make sure that everybody understand what can potentially hold your taxes up, and to make sure you have that right information. So it's important that you understand that, because, and this is the tricky thing. So number one is the stimulus, right? Everybody got these stimulus between the last couple years. And so the last stimulus for 2021, which is the tax season that we're working on for 2021, was 1,400. Some people was a dependent. Like some people didn't get theirs because somebody else claimed them on their taxes, right? And so you're going to go and file your taxes. It's going to ask you, did you receive that stimulus? And so if you put no, then they're going to give you that $1,400. They're going to add it to your refund. But if you say yes, then they're not going to do anything. And so what's going to happen is when you file that return and they start processing it, they're going to check and see if there was a stimulus paid off of your social security number. And so if somebody else got the stimulus off of your social security number, then it could potentially hold up your taxes. So you have to keep that in mind. Or if you put the right amount, if say you received, 300 or 600, and you actually received 1,400 or whatnot, when you start processing that return, it's going to, hold it up. And if you have any tax questions, any business questions, please put them inside the comments. I did have a special guest, but unfortunately she couldn't make it today. And so we're going to have to reschedule that again. This is the second time, but it's all good. But if you have a tax question or a business question, put it in the comment. I'll get an answer for sure. And so the next thing, of course, is the child tax, the early child tax credit. And so many of you are receiving that because you didn't even have to ask for it. They automatically gave you this child tax credit. In fact, the only way you can refuse it was to go online. You have to actually go online and let them know that you did not want it. And so, which is cool because people was able to get their money early, and it's just half of it. So the government, the full credit is like $3,000. And so a lot of people was just getting partial credit, half of it, which was about 6 months. So some of you got, if you only had one child, then you got $300 a child. And then of course if you had two, 600 or whatnot, and it was for 6 months. And so then, of course, when you go to file your taxes, they're going to give you the rest of that credit. So it's not like they're going to take money away from you. They're just going to give you the rest of that credit. The rest of it was advanced to you. But here's where the problem comes in, is that your tax situation, you have to remember, because what if your tax situation changed? You have some people at the end of the year, they're not going to claim that child. So you've been receiving a child tax credit advance for 4 kids, but then this year you deciding to let, your mom or your sister or somebody else file your claim your kid. So if you do that, then right away it's going to cause some delays because the IRS are asking you specifically, did you receive the early child tax credit, the advance, and how much? They want to know how much you received. And so how much you received is going to be based, how much you should have received is going to be based on how you file. And so if you filed with less than the kids that than you received the credit for, then it's probably going to delay your taxes. They're going to have to reconcile the rest of that money. And so, same thing, if you file and you have extra tax, extra dependence on your return, then again, that's going to, they're going to reconcile that. You'll see your return is going to be sky high as well because, you claiming more than what than the early child tax credit. So you just have to keep in mind, now they're sending out notices to let people know exactly how much they received. And so it's best if you can keep that notice, or you can just add up all your monthly deposits that you got from the IRS. And then, you can file with that. I had a few people that do that. So, but it's important that you have the exact amount, or because you don't want your taxes to be held up. You don't want them in that category where they have to check and figure out, no, this is wrong, and ain't no telling how they work that process out and how long it'll take. Because I can't tell you, they could get to they can do it and send it on through and be okay, or they can be taking a long time. And we know when it comes to the IRS, they don't do anything fast. They still are behind on some of the taxes from the previous years, from last year. So you just you can't never call, and it's hard to get a hold of them. So yeah, if you have any tax questions, let me know. Let me know. Don't feel free to chime in and leave a message and let me know what questions you might have for this season or any season. Any business question. I feel like it's a lot of people that open businesses, and I think it's a good thing, but you got to be real careful because there's a lot of businesses out there that's difficult or that's not structured correctly. Some of the businesses that I've seen, and these aren't the ones that's not structured correctly, but the businesses that I've seen that seem pretty popular is the traveling, the uh, truck driving business, right? I had a few people that got into the truck driving business where, you pay a certain amount of money, and this company or this whoever this is, they'll get you set up with a truck and a driver and all that stuff, you know. And so, I haven't seen it work perfectly yet. I know there are some people that's probably out there and doing well, but the two people that I come in contact with, they don't. They made a little bit of money, but they end up losing more than what they gained. For one of them, I don't even think she's even doing it anymore. She probably got out of it altogether. So there's nothing wrong with starting your own business, but make sure you investigate and look at the reviews. If it's a company that you're working with, look at the reviews, or try to find somebody else that's already doing it or getting it done. So you can see exactly you know what your chances are of being successful, because it's not easy for sure. You know, but I feel like a lot of people are just, they start their business, they get an LLC, and here they are, and now let's make some money. But they fail to, number one, keep their books in order, which is very important, because as your business advance, you start making money, you want to be able to purchase different assets. You want to be able to purchase a house, you want to be able to purchase, a car or equipment or just different stuff like that. And if you don't keep your books together, properly, then when you go to the bank, they're not going to give you a mortgage. They're going to be less inclined to do that. And I'm talking from experience. This ain't just stuff that I've read. This is from experience, from being self-employed all this year, because being is hard. Self-employment is, a little bit harder than a person that has W-2s, or even 1099s. It's harder to get a mortgage or to prove your income, because they don't, you can't just walk in there and with bank statements and be like, look at these bank statements. No, they want to see how organized you are as well. They want to be able to read, how much you have coming in, all of your expenses, and then what's your net. And so if you don't have that stuff in order, it's going to be difficult. And I tell you another issue that that people run into as well. Obviously, when you first start your business, most people take losses first couple of years. They writing off all these expenses, and so what happens is eventually you want your business to start making money. So if you're constantly adding in all these expenses and getting paying less on taxes, that means your business is not earning that much money. And so what happens is if you're overly aggressive with all your expenses, then it's going to drop your income down. And when you go to apply for, a mortgage or, a car, and they ask for your tax return, and here you could have made, 60, $70,000, but you have all these expenses, and now your adjusted gross income is 10,000, because you didn't want to pay the tax. You they're going to be less inclined to give you a loan or help you, because your adjusted gross income is low. And so that's stuff you have to understand when it comes to being in business for yourself and self-employed. Strategizing, you got to have a strategy, a strategy to pay taxes. That's the difference. When you start to paying taxes, you want to pay the minimum amount, but at the same time, you want to be able to show that you're making income. And so a lot of times, I always instruct my business owners, if they self-employed, if you start to make, over 40, 45,000, I would suggest that convert yourself to a S corporation. And so when you convert yourself to an S corporation, you're able to save a lot more on taxes, and you're able to show, a lot more of your income because of that. And so it just really helps in that aspect. So most people don't understand, about converting to an S corp. They just operate the same, but it's just, but no matter if you are S corp, a C corp, it don't matter if you're just a sole proprietor. What the most important thing is getting them books together, getting them books together, you know, having a way to uh, itemize your expenses and your income so that you can take a snapshot of your business at any given moment and see what you're doing, monthly, see how much bringing in monthly, see how much you're spending monthly, see where a lot of times you want to see where your money is going to, how much is it going towards gas, what percentage. When you get higher up in finance and in business, they look at percentage. You can look and say, hey, you know my gas expense is 60%, or 50 employee expenses 50%, which is about right. A lot of times the biggest expense in a business, a large business, is employees. Make up probably about 50 to 60% of their expenses. So those are just some techniques that you do to help when it comes to being organized and evading taxes. We don't want to call it evading. We want to call it saving on taxes. I'm transitioning also into becoming a tax strategist where, I teach business owners how to, lower their tax bill legally. There's different ways you can lower your tax bills when you have a business, especially when you have an S corp. You have retirement. If you set up a retirement, that takes off of your gross income as well. So yeah, you can't spend that money right now, but guess what? You don't pay the tax on it as well. So that's one way you can alleviate and save your taxes. Health savings arrangements. This is another way people save on taxes, is by creating a health savings arrangement. It's like a savings account, for you know health expenses. And so when you keep it for so long, it turns into it works like a 401k or IRA. After a certain period of time, you get penalized if you take the money out. However, if you take it out for medical expenses, there's no penalty at all. So, and so there's a lot that can pertain to medical expenses, from anything from massages and stuff like that. So at least you have this money that you haven't paid taxes on. And if you take it out for anything else, they'll just tax you on it. But all you got to do is bring it to me. So, but it's very important that we understand that when you start to go into business, that there's a lot of strategies to help lower your taxes as opposed to just putting money in there. That both you can have a comfortable area where this is the amount of tax you don't mind paying this year, and guess what, you'll be able to show the amount of income necessary for you to advance your business. You might want to get business credit, you might want to get a vehicle, or again talking about property and stuff like that for your business. So that's why it's important that we understand exactly how to structure and keep bookkeeping. I feel like a lot of new business owners, they don't get that information. They just see other people in business. They get an idea and they feel like, what, I, this is a great idea, this is what I'm gonna do. They go out there and run with it, and they end up wasting a lot of money, or end up getting in tax situations. So it's real important that you talk to somebody and get some information for sure. So after the season this year, I want to start uh, teaching some classes. Definitely teaching some tax classes, teaching some business organization classes, how to put your business together, how to making sure that you keep your books together, how to the proper way of keeping the books so that you can see you know all these things, payroll stuff. It's time to share the knowledge a little bit for sure. So do some training. But I'm interested, if anybody have any questions, let me know for sure. Again, we started off talking to taxes. Again, I apologize for not having the guest that I talked about, but like I said, these things happen. So make the best of it. But Impact is back. I got connected with some awesome guys that I'm gonna be bringing on as well. As men need to stick together. So, but I don't just, I don't. Again, I'm a coach. I'm a life coach as well. So, and I do it in the office. So obviously, I filed prepared taxes, but at the same time, people have so many issues and stuff that and questions, and I help them out for sure. I'll tell you, I had one guy come in that had questions about his job, and should he should he go to a better job? He's getting all these offers. He's doing good on his this current job. He's doing good, but he feel like he can do a lot better. If he go to another job or do something different. And he's getting all these offers to come here and work for us and do that. I ain't talking about you, Steve. So, but I told him, I can never tell nobody what they should do as far as, quitting one job and going to another job, or nothing I can do. But the only thing I can tell him was that make sure that he's just not chasing money. You can't, if you get in the habit of just chasing money, then you're going to always quit and go after the better offer instead of being stable and building up where you are. There's something about being stable and sticking right where you are that it creates stability. It creates character, all these things when you being stable. Now if there's something's going on where you're really unhappy, and you need to talk to the management and stuff like that, and if you having issues, then that's a different situation. But just because somebody is offering you more money is not a reason for you to chase after it. No, that's not a reason for you, because if that's the case, then you're being driven, you're being controlled by money, and you want to be in control of yourself. You can be happy with this, with the same amount of money, long as your bills is being taken care of and you got money going in the savings account, and you should be happy. Now if you want to look for a better offer, then there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to really make sure that that's the reason that you're going, and it's not just because you're chasing money. because you'll never be happy. It'll be 10 years and you done went through 4 or 5 different jobs just for the money. And here, if you would have stayed at the same job, you probably would have built up to that same thing, to the same amount of income. But you have a lot more respect and people know where you are. So, a lot more respect and a lot you're not noticed. He says you don't see U-Hauls following funerals. Yeah, no, you don't see U-Hauls following funerals for sure. What's up, Brandon? That's my brother Brandon. Those of you who don't know, I'm also part of an awesome group, the Family Talk. We get together on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. and talk about so many different topics and stuff like that. So definitely, if you had time to tune in and check us out, for sure, we have a lot of fun. We also have Real Talk on Tuesday nights. Tuesday night, I think it's about 8:30, somewhere around there, with my brother Jody and Telly. They on there. They talk about everything. If Real Talk Tuesday is definitely for grown folks, so you don't want to have no kids listening to that. So it's not about impacting. Oh, of course it is, but But anyhow, getting back to talking about the business, we're talking about this chasing money. So I talked to him a little bit, and just gave him some advice, letting them know, that stop. Don't be so quick to jump ships. The grass ain't always greener on the other side. You know, and sometimes the grass is greener on the other side, but just because the grass is greener doesn't mean you're going to be happy. You know, I if I look down my street, there's a lot of people whose grass is a lot greener than mine, but I'm happy where I'm at. I'm happy. So that's your happiness is most important. you know that's most important. And so if your happiness is based on how much money you making, then you're going to lose every time. You're going to lose every time. Money is just a resource that just comes to people that's solving problems. So I did. Who else I talked to? I had another person talk to me about being stressed out and stuff like that. Even to the point they was talking to a psychologist or whoever it was, schedule an appointment, paying like $150 a visit. $150 a visit. And I was like, and just telling you, a lot of us go through stress, stuff like that. And so, I was just explaining to him the same thing I would say to you, that stress starts from your perspective. That's the beginning of stress, is your perspective. How are you viewing your situation? Do you view your situation as bad, or do you view your situation as good? And so one of the things you have to do is you have to search for the good in each situation. No matter how rough or how bad it is, you have to search for the good, which is what us church people call the God in everything. Search for the God. The Bible tells us, that if you'll be in perfect peace if you keep your mind stayed on him. So it doesn't mean that you're always thinking about about God. You're just always realizing that God is working things out and everything's going to work in your favor. That's the same thing. So if you're in a tough situation, focus on the good, and that'll help relieve your stress. Next thing too is, do you want to change your mentality from, you know, you could have a negative mentality. You could be that the glass is half empty type of person, where you look for the negative in everything, or you're constantly saying that stuff is negative or stuff is bad or stuff's going to go wrong. If you're that type of person, then you will be stressing your body out every single time, because your body is going to react to that perception. It's going to react to your feelings, to what you're saying. So you want to make sure that, you're not that person. You're not focusing on the negative. You want to, if something's going to fall apart, it's going to fall apart with you thinking positive, all the way up to the last minute. And then you're just like, oh, I guess it fell apart, and then you just do something different, or, you deal with that. But you don't want to, be already stressed out thinking it's going to fall apart and it didn't even happen yet. And so a lot of times that's where that stress comes from. And so I was just explaining to, this person that, you have to change your mentality. You have to work on changing your mentality. Affirmations, tell yourself positive affirmations, and not just speaking positive affirmations. You have to incorporate your feelings as well. I think that's where a lot of people go wrong with affirmations is, they write stuff down and they repeat stuff all day. But if you don't, invoke your emotion, that positive emotion, and tie it together, then you're just reading and saying stuff. You might as well just be saying words or reading a book or something. And it's really not going to have an impact on your subconscious, which is your inner. Your subconscious is triggered by your emotion. That's how you get your subconscious to pay attention, by emotion. When the emotion is stirred up, either good or bad, your subconscious captures whatever that incident was. It captured it and puts it in your file cabinet, and so it remembers that, man, this was good, or man, this was bad. You know, and so you want to trick it into viewing things positive, and then followed by an emotion, and you can trick it into believing that, everything is good right now and everything is awesome and you're full of joy. And when you do that, you change your subconscious. So then now your perspective is different. You have more of a positive perspective. And what happens is, obviously when you start off doing it, you have to force yourself into that area, which is, important to do. You just have to do it. You force yourself in that area. But pretty soon it becomes natural, and it just becomes your natural person. So that's how you see people that's always laughing and always smiling and always positive, because this natural now. It's like a habit. Their subconscious mind captured it, and now it's inside their subconscious, or their heart. What people say, their heart, which is your mind. So once it's there and it's stuck in there, now you become this positive person. And so it's hard to be a positive person and to be stressed out at the same time, you know. So that's why it's important for you to follow these steps. And so I was able to share that, with a person. You'd be surprised at the conversation, because I get all up in everybody's business. Most of my people that come to me been with me for like 6, 7 years or longer. So I know their business. I know what's going on. I know, everything. And I, don't hesitate to share with them. Obviously I don't tell nobody what to do. I just give them advice. But it had me thinking that how many people out there really in need of a person to give advice. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people don't have a father, or that old dad, or their old grandma or mom, or somebody that they can go to and get advice from. Even the guy sent me, a message today and said, "Man, thanks." This was like 4 hours later. He sent me a message, man, like, thanks for, that advice, and that I appreciate that. And it just made me think, and how many people out there really don't have that, have that person that they can just call and be like, "Man, should I change jobs or should I stay here?" You know what I'm saying? "I don't know what to do," or, you know what I'm saying, should I marry this chick or should I not marry? They don't have that person. And so, that's part of this impact. you know what I want to do is make sure that, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to, you can shoot me a message and, call me, whatever, and we'll chop it up for sure. Because I think it's important, because there are a lot of people that, either they parent, that person could have died or passed away, you know, and now they don't have that person anymore, or they person was never involved in their life in the first place, and so they never really had that person around, you know, or even worse, they are around, but they act younger than their kids. Like, it's people like that out there. They in their 60s and they still acting, younger than their kids. So, but I just think that was cool, and that it happens every year. That's really one of the reasons I look forward to this season, to seeing, when tax season come around, is that, I get to see all my people that I haven't seen for a long time and get caught up and, help them, or give them advice or even learn from them. They can tell me different things that I can learn, from them. That, either this business, business adventure or a company that's going on out there and stuff like that. That's how you network too. You find out who's doing what and be able to connect certain people. Like I got a connection for my brother Jimmy, Chef Jimbo. you know he out cooking today. um, I got in contact with somebody I've been working with for a while doing their taxes, and they have corporate events every so often, and they need catering there. So I'm finna hook that up for sure. Which gave me I had an idea a while ago is to have some type of network so that if you're looking for different services or stuff like that, I will have a network of people that's trusted. You know what I'm saying? These is people that I know and that I trust. And so you can go to them for sure. And they would rather treat you than beat you. So, just like today I had to freaking get my car fixed. It was broke down. The oil was leaking and it wasn't accelerating. And I took it in there. Man, the guy told me the bill was $1,600. Like, oh my gosh, $1,600 to fix this car. I was like, man, maybe I should just get a new car. So, but it's my mechanic. I've been going to him for years, and he's always been there for me. I know him. He's a nice Christian guy, and you know what I'm saying. So I didn't feel bad. Obviously, I hated to come up out the pocket to pay for the car, but it needed to be fixed. But it was a lot easier because I know this person. I've been working with this person. And so a lot of times when you have a connection with somebody, it's easier to spend your money with them. So, that's important to establish those relationships. And I always tell people, about them too. Hey, if you need your car worked on, go to Gonzalez. Yes, Gonzalez Motorsports. Yeah, he done took over the old strip club. It used to be a strip club uh, over in Palmetto, right there on 41. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I act like y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know that was a strip club over there. So he took over it and turned it into a auto shop. And so I swear about him for real. I swear about it. He would rather treat you than beat you for sure. So, but yeah, man, if y'all have any questions, oh yeah, I see you tomorrow, B, for sure. I'll be on in the morning. So if y'all have any questions, let me know, man. It's tax season right now. This the busiest time for me, so I won't, I don't know how much, how many of these episodes I'll be able to do. This is like the off season. I may have to pick back up like around March, you know, when it slows down for sure. But I'll definitely chime in. So let's see what we got over here. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in for sure. Make sure you get your paperwork together, my boy Denarius. What's up, man? Denarius Mason, that's my dude there, man, for sure. He's the latest guy in my circle. He just kind of, what I'm saying, grew on me like a wart or something, man. No, that's my dude for sure. I can't wait to connect you with these other two brothers that I got for sure. He's doing big things over there. Helping people over at Loving Hands, helping people that, had addictions and stuff like that. But even more so, helping them become men. And, just to think about that, man, that Loving Hands is awesome, man, for sure. Everybody, it seemed like just about every person that I ever met from Loving Hands has been transformed and doing well. Like, really, like I know they're not 100%. There's some people that walk away or do whatever, but like Gus, uh man, I can't think of the other guy's name. He's a rapper. It's so many people, and then Daenerys. There's so many. Loving Hands is killing it, man. It's killing. I had to see what they technique when it comes to taking people that's been hooked on drugs or getting in trouble, going to jail, doing all this stuff, and like 2 years, a complete transformation. Like I'm telling you, I've said this to myself so many times. Like, this is amazing. Like, what are they doing? Are they, shooting, vaccinations inside people and clearing it all up, or what? I guess that vaccination is Jesus. They shooting that Jesus vaccine inside of. Real talk though. Real talk. I'm telling you, most everybody that I've come in contact with has just been doing great when they complete that program. So if you have somebody that's definitely, you know, hooked on drugs or whatever the situation is, reach out to Loving Hands and see if, there's something that they can do and get signed up or get them over there for sure, because their success rate seems to be pretty high, at least all the people that I've talked to. What's up, Marlon? Hey, Marlon Hooker, that's my brother. That's my bro. We got the same daddy. So if you look at him, he look just like me. One thing about Marlon, man, is I want listen, man, I'm getting old, man. When we gonna hoop together, man? When we gonna hoop? That's all I want to know is when we gonna hoop, man, for sure. Shout out to Travis, my dog Travis. If you need a car, for sure, Travis got you. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out hey, Mike in the building. Mike is one of my investment gurus, man. He always got some investment stuff going on for sure. Michael Newsom, appreciate you, dog, for real. Got to get all you guys on the show for real, man. I love chatting with you guys for sure. But yeah, Martin, you gotta let me know, man, when we gonna ball, man. You need to come into Florida and visit, man, so we can hoop sometime, man. I know you're working hard over there in Ohio, but it's warm here all the time, man. Yeah, and bring my little nephew too, man. Bring my little nephew so I can, what I'm saying, ball on him as well. Yeah, Cox Chevrolet. Travis been doing that for a long time, man. Again, that's how you build that networking with people that gonna take care of you, man. Because they've been doing the same thing for a long time, man. Travis will take care of you at Cox Chevrolet, you know, trying to find a way to get it done for you. But if you need a car or vehicle, definitely reach out to Travis. We got my man Mike Newsom. He's into the gold and the gold and silver. Silver is just silver, Mike. I know you're into the just silver. My dog Brian. I can't wait to link up with Brian Bell, man. Brian Bell, I see you, man. So Brian Bell is a guy that I just met too, and I'm looking forward to connecting with him. It's all about iron sharpening irons, man. We have a lot of people that have a lot of different backgrounds, and so we're gonna come together and make sure we all win, make sure we all make it. You know what I'm saying? And it's about networking. It's about networking, and it's about making sure that we stay focused and do what we need to do. As men. To take care of our families. And what do you say, ASAP? Oh, we playing football. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Come visit, man. We can't. I don't want to hoop in Ohio. Come to Florida. We can hoop and go to the beach and whatever you want to do, man. For sure. That's my dude, Marlon. I remember when we was younger, man. He used to be so bad. I used to check on him all the time, but he didn't really grow. And he got all the height that I wanted too, man. This dude like 6'5", 6'6". He got all the height that I wanted. It's all right though. It's all right. That's my dude for sure. All right, he said you got me. Y'all see it. I'm a screenshot. He said he got me. He coming for sure. So, but yeah, getting back to my dude Brian. It was a pleasure. Chatting with you. We end up linking up at the for the at Hooters. We met at Hooters, not a place I regularly go, but you know what I'm saying. When you meet up with people, it don't matter. So we was there watching the game and just chopping it up. It was my first time meeting them, man, and my first impression was awesome. My discernment a lot of times, my discernment is high. So when I meet people, I can pretty much tell how much work they need, and and where what I'm gonna have to do, if I'm gonna get along much or not. But that guy is very influential guy, man, for real. And so, you're gonna be doing big things, Brian. I just want you to know that. So I'm gonna tell you, like I tell everybody else, you use them powers for good. You got powers, make sure you use them for good. And that power of influence is what I'm talking about. You got the power to influence. You're gonna have people following you no matter what you do. So you already know that. You probably already had people following you when you was in the streets or hanging out. So you know what I'm talking about. Yes, my man Mike is in the gold, silver, jewelry, and other investment strategies. Yep. He's definitely one of those investment strategy guys. I'm gonna get him back on. He's been on Impact a few times, a couple times. So, definitely very wise, and he's a. I ain't even gonna say it, but sometimes we go back and forth and about our religion. But I love it. I love that we could have, differences, different beliefs when it comes to religion and stuff like that. But yet, we like brothers. We like brothers for sure. In fact, he put me on to the noodle place, whatever. I forget the name of it already, Mike. The noodle place, and I love it. So, but you owe me next one, man. I picked up the bill last time. You owe me for sure. So make sure you put in your comment that you got me next time. Yeah. So good. My boy Bill said he focused. That's what it takes. Focus. And then, of course, getting connected with some of these other brothers that you see their names up here. I'm going to find a way to get us all together and making sure that, we pouring into each other, for sure. So, yep, Demi's. Exactly. Exactly. I ain't gonna lie, man. I got the egg rolls. It was good, man. It was. You see, I had to buy two more. Yo, they bring me two more of them things, man. Thank you. Started finding out, do y'all deliver? For sure. So, but yeah, man, that's it. Definitely. If anybody have any questions, any business, any tax questions, put them up right now. Let me know. I'll try to, let you know what's going down. Um, that you can file now. You don't have to wait. You can get all your stuff together. Some of you can't file. If you have a business, you have to wait. Like if you have an S corp corporation, you got to do your corporation taxes first, and then when you get your K-1 form, then you can do your personal taxes. And by the way, if you have a corporation, those taxes is due by March. Man, I need to make sure. They're due by March. So you have to keep that in mind. You have the whole month of February, but they're due by March 1st. Corporation tax deadline. Let me make sure. I'm pretty certain. Yeah, March 15th is the deadline. So if you have a corporation, if you have an S corp or a C corp or a partnership, a lot of people don't realize that they have, that they running this business with somebody else. They're actually a partnership, and they just filing separate taxes. You're a partnership. All those has to be done by March 15th. So, get my hands ready because I got a few of them that I have to do. Nonprofit taxes is due by the 15th as well. So you got to make sure you get all that stuff. Also, this is very important. If you have a business, if you're registered in Florida, you have a business, your annual report is due as well. You have to get your annual report due. I think it costs about $138 just to get it renewed. And so if you're late, they're going to charge you $400. So if you have a business and you're registered in Florida, and if you're not, and if you want to register a business in Florida, holler at me. I can help you. I do all that as well. Yes, that's right. They did. We did get some dinners for Loving Hands for the men over there. So good. I'm glad they enjoyed it, man. For sure. I'm so glad when God speaks and stuff work out like that. I'm glad we figured that they would enjoy that. Came from Chef Jimbo. He did jerk tacos today. everything Chef Jimbo do is off the chain. It's good. He's an exceptional chef. He's young to be so young, but he's definitely, an exceptional chef. I enjoy it for sure. There's a lot of good chefs out there for sure, but I'm just connected to Jimbo and I'm partial to him for sure. So another thing about Loving Hands too, man, they helped me when I moved. I had to move, so I had a couple guys from Loving Hands come over and help move. So they love doing different community stuff like that. Bring the baby. My wife is here. Oh, she don't want me to wake him up. It don't matter.
No, because of the pictures.
Huh? Oh, see, she got him all dressed up because we gotta take pictures today. Say hi, babe. Oh, she gone already. Anyway, that's the Hurricane Elijah. Got the whole house disrupted. We ain't got no sleep. We got diapers in every single room, right? Like we just change the diaper right there, fold it up, and set it there, and and forget about it. So, but anyhow, that's my dude. But yeah, Loving Hands came through, and when we moved into the house, they helped. I'm telling you, anybody, most people hate moving. So when you can get a bunch of guys to help you move, oh my goodness, it's just such a relief to when you get help to do that. So they love doing community stuff like that. So if you have any type of community event where you need help or moving stuff like that, you can reach out to my dude Denars or reach out to me and I'll get in touch with him to find out what it is that can be done. They don't do everything, because they got to respect, some of the guys and, depending on, what's going on and what their, level of transition are. Because, some of them guys are new when they're in their transition. So you don't want to have them out, in the world in the certain areas when they're new in their transition. And then you have some guys that's fully transitioned and they're doing good. And, so, they don't do everything, but it's always worth the help. Definitely moving and stuff like that. So, but yeah, if y'all don't have any more questions, man, I definitely appreciate all you guys for chiming in. Mr. Steve, definitely Brandon, my brother Denaris, my brother Travis. We hoop Saturday mornings, 9 a.m., Boys and Girls Club. I ain't been there in a while because I be on the podcast. Michael Newsom, that's my dude. Brian, all these people is my brothers for real. Like I'm close to them for real. These people, like I would call, like if I was out somewhere and I needed some help, I would call, and I have no doubt that these guys would show up for real. And I'm the same way I show up for them. So it's just good to have people in your life where you can depend on them and get help for real, man. So, this is your boy Coach A. It's been awesome. Again, I'm sorry I didn't have the regular show today. I had some schedule, but due to unforeseen circumstances, that it didn't come through today. So hopefully in the near future we'll try it again. We ain't gonna give up for sure. We try it again. Miss Alexis Love, she is an awesome athlete. She just had her baby, a little boy, cute little boy. Also, she was inducted into the Murray State Track and Field Hall of Fame. So she wrote a book called ah man, I can't forget what it is. I forgot what it is, the name of this book. I'm gonna have to make sure I pull it up because I don't want to do that like that. Mm, I hate that. So anyhow, I'm gonna have to pull her on there. Let me get this book up. Yes, it's called Running. It's a biography, Running for My Life, The Diary of Alexis Love. That's what it's called for sure. So definitely want to get her on to talk about the book and all the new stuff that she's doing. She's traveling, a little bit. I mean, probably not now because she just had the baby, but she's motivational speaking and stuff like that. Just trying to encourage people from the Bradenton area, man. She's from this area, Palmetto, I believe. Palmetto or Bradenton. She's from this area, man. She went all the way through to, the Olympic tryouts a few times, So I think that's just quite an accomplishment, amazing accomplishment. So we'll definitely get her on. I'm gonna get my brothers on for sure. Denaris, I gotta get Michael, Brian. We're gonna get on here and just we're gonna flood this thing with all the knowledge that we have because we want to teach other people, man. So I'm excited about this year and what's coming. Definitely excited about this year and what's coming, man. So again, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and then till next Friday, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do next week, depending on what my schedule is. I'm gonna try to get on again. Just bear with me because this is a busy season. At least February is the busiest season. Then it, chimes down a little bit in March, but for sure. But again, tune in Saturday mornings on Facebook, and we also have YouTube. It's called Family Talk, right? It's a group of our guys. We talk 9 a.m. podcast. If you want to get on, you can hit the link, on the Facebook. I think it's on the Facebook page. We have a link where we can get you right on as well. If you want to come on here, if you want to come on the Impact podcast, for sure, just let me know ahead of time, and I'll shoot you a link and get you on there. Again, I love all you guys. I appreciate you guys. And until the next time, peace.